Hey fans, welcome to Sports Night with Jorge once again. Sorry about Friday. I was actually kind of tired, guys, and I crashed. I mean, I was exhausted. Long week for me. But here's the weekend. I'm gonna give you the Friday recap. We're gonna talk about Tua Tagovailoa in a second, what the player said, and concern about the player. And I want to bring a topic up that so people understand this. And I'm gonna say it clearly. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a specialist. There's many concussions around the league. Uh, but when your body has been beaten down the last 5 years, like it is, it just makes you think. I know you have podcasters out there uh, making comments about retiring. I'm one of them. That's my personal opinion. Like I said, guys, I'm not here to argue with anybody or make any enemy with anybody. I have my opinion. You're right. I'm not a doctor expert. Neither are you. Okay, so you see it as you look at it. If you've been following the Miami Dolphins for many years, like I have, I might not be an expert like all these people are, because you got great guys out there, which I'm not going to mention names. I'm not going to make comments about anybody because that's not my nature. I'm a person. I respect every individual. You got people out there that they have the knowledge. Listen, more power to you, guy. More power. All right. Let me read a statement that Calais Campbell said about Tua Tagovailoa. This is very important because just listen to these words and you tell me what you think in the comment. The most encouraging part of Tua Tagovailoa teammates, right? We're seeing that the leader got off the ground and walked off the field under his own power. They have seen a lot worse. And he's right. I say that in a good start. Veteran defensive tackle Calais Campbell said, but at some point, reality set in for everyone who saw their quarterback on the ground after a big hit, attempting to rise, then putting his hand to his helmet and going back down, sorry, and remaining there for several minutes. And then, Tua, whose history of concussion is well documented, scary and concerned, the heart sinks a bit lower. That's how they reacted. Given his history to make it tougher, Campbell said, it is a tough one to see, fullback Alec Ingold said. The one injury that everyone, sorry, not just his teammate and coaches, but anyone who compassion fears happened during the game when Miami lost 31-10. Tua Tagovailoa on his back after taking a big hit. It's something that we have seen before and dreaded seeing it again. Tua concussion stunned a lot of Dolphin teammates. Really scary, guys. Like I say, I'm not an expert, but let me finish what English said. We're all pretty tight knit family around here. English said, first and foremost, you're just hoping he is safe. The diagnosis, diagnosis with the concussion, marking to a fourth head injury in the last 2 years, includes three diagnosis concussion. Two have another apparent head injury 2 years ago when he staggered on the field against the Buffalo Bills. That was actually, I think, opening day in Miami against the Buffalo Bills. You see, guys, I'm not an expert on this. It's something to think about and a decision to make for him and his family. I just see what I see. I just hear what I hear. And I give you the information that I get. All of us have different opinion. All of us. Uh, Brett Favre has a history of concussion. A lot of players has a history of concussion. Every concussion is different. Yes. Remember, concussion is not like a torn ACL, an Achilles injury. It's not, guys. Okay, this is something you're dealing with a brain, something more serious. But once again, that is up to Tua Tagovailoa family members, doctors, to make that decision. We still have players in the league that has concussion and are playing. The only questions I bring up, there's different concussions, okay, that you could play with under supervision, under medication, maybe under therapy. Who knows? I'm not a doctor. That's not my call. But anyhow, that's one thing I want to leave it there for Tua Tagovailoa. I guess people get the wrong misconception when people say things. Uh, Sometimes we got to look at it ourselves. But like I say, I wish him well. We know more things couple of days. We know more information when the doctor comes out. Uh, Maybe he'll be out 4 or 6 weeks. Maybe he'll be out for the entire season. Who knows, guys? See, those things we don't know. And we could talk here all day and speculate because that's all these podcasters does. And I'm sorry, and I'm naming everybody because we think we have the accurate information. We don't. We're not doctors. We don't know that. We could hear what every broadcaster in sports will bring their opinion, and you got experts that goes on online or on podcasts, on TV, and they give their analysis. It's just an analysis. But the real doctor that Tua goes to is the one that makes the decision. And then, of course, his contract has that clause. If any injury happened, the man is covered. That was a good idea for the Miami Dolphins. So hopefully, you know, everything goes well. He come back this season. But let me say one thing about Dolphin fans. The moment somebody goes down, your season is over. Man, that makes me feel like you really love your Dolphins. You see, at that moment, Miami was 1-0 before going to 1-1. They lost the football game. But I look at the human, the guy that got hurt. Heck with the game. The game is over. We got beaten. All right? We got beaten. That's it. Let it go. We got beaten. Now let's talk about the human being. But now we go 1-1. The rest of the season is doomed. Is over. Man, how positive you are as a Dolphin fan. You're so freaking positive, guys. Come on, man. 1-1 and you calling your season over? There's so many quarterbacks out there that Miami can make a trade, a pick, and then here we are already. How negative we are. I don't want Tannehill. But how do you know he's going to be good or bad? Are you an expert? Just because you look at his career in Miami, or we got Henneken that's backup quarterback, great quarterback, or you got another, the quarterback that played for Washington. He just got traded. Then you got Winston. Okay, you pick what fit your offensive line. But you know what? You might pick up Winston. And you say, "Oh my God, great quarterback." Then he has a bad game. Oh, why did we pick him? He's terrible. Here's what I'm trying to say. As fans, we are good at criticism, and that's not what this Dolphin team need. We don't need criticism. Either you're a true fan and get on the bandwagon, or get off of it if you're not. Because it's getting ridiculous, man. Really ridiculous. You get beat by Buffalo and you think it's the end of the world. Man, it's just sports, it's just football. Why you make it a big thing when it should not be a big thing? The big thing in the picture is Tua Tagovailoa. His health, that's the big thing. I heard McDaniel on that video. And I'm going to be honest with you. He's not going to say something because he has to cover his side. So did Greer. So did the owner. They're going to, That's pro football. You got to protect. You have to protect your asset, and that's what Miami did. Protect the asset. Okay. I hear McDaniel. Yeah, he loves Tua. I'll tell you. I think this is one of the best probably relationship of coach and quarterback. The picture when he kisses quarterback in the head, and of course he gives him motivation. Hey, buddy, you're still our quarterback, regardless what happened. Okay. People mention is that's the last kiss goodbye. You see how we say things, but that's your opinion. I should not get mad at you because you say that. I should not say, oh my God, look what he said. I mentioned retirement because that's what I think. This is what I feel as a fan. Okay? Because now I'm not looking at the football field. I'm looking at the human being. Or make it better, I'm not even looking at the football team. I'm looking at a man that has a wife, a father, a mother, a sister, a brother, kids. And here we are into social media. And I'm going to say it because I never say this. Talking crap. Okay? Because now I ask this question. Nobody answer on my comments. If that was your kid, what would you tell him? You know what's sad? Everybody says, well, George, if you like something that you do, would you quit? Well, if my health is on the line, yes, of course. Because I look ahead of me. My kid, my family, my friends. I said this the other day, and people, I guess, didn't get it. Do you want a picture on a freaking billboard? Oh, that used to be my dad, man, years ago. What happened? Well, he never retired from football, but he got hit and he got killed. Oh, he's never the same. Does anybody talk about Antonio Brown since the hit of Cincinnati? Has Antonio been the same? I'm just throwing that out there. Junior Seau, concussion. What did he did? It's sad, people. And then you have NFL with concussion protocol, concussion programs to help people. I mean, you don't look. Here's what we don't looking at the defects that can happen to a human being. We're sitting here saying, well, okay, listen, I'm not a doctor. I'm going to say it again. I'm not an expert. I'm going to say it again. But you got to be real. It's reality, guys. Okay? You're passionate about the game. You want to play the game. You want to have a career. You want to win a Super Bowl. You want to win a playoff. Well, let me tell you something. That's what we want, the fans. Another player wanted too, but we are the fans. Man, we want to win. We haven't won in 20 years. Or 30 years. Or 40 years. Guys, we got to think about the human here. Not about football. Some of these podcasters need a wake-up call. I'm sorry to tell you that. Okay? Because some of these podcasters make sense. I'm not going to tell you they don't. Okay? But some come out there and say, well, I hear everybody say they need to retire. He need to do that. I don't make that call. He does. I understand that. But now the people that say this are looking at their point of view. You want your kid to go on the field and get beat up like that? And then when you don't see your son no more, what are you going to say? You see, this is what I'm saying, guys. I'm not being negative. I'm just throwing that thing out there. I'm a true believer. See, he's a Christian man. That man believes in God. And God could do so many things. Listen, he had a great year last year. No injuries. Okay? What happened? He stopped jiu-jitsu. He lost weight. Unfortunately, he dove the wrong way. What a coincidence. Why? Look what's on the line. Look what's everything on the line. He took one for the team. He could have slide feet slide instead of head slide or throw himself with the head. But no, he was competing to get the first down for the Miami Dolphins. And here we are as fans freaking out. Oh, my gosh. You know. And then on my side, I get people putting stuff on my comment. He's a puss. Come on, guys. This is pro football. This is tackle football. This is not college football. And even though in college football, kids get injuries. and lose their career. Well, they play the game. What happened? Okay, look at the guy with the Pittsburgh Steelers, the linebacker. Thank God he's alive. Did he come back to play? Oh, because his injury was different than Tua. Okay, but then he came back to play. He retired from Pittsburgh, which I forgot the guy's name. If I'll come up with it, I remember I'll come up with it. Great defensive guy. He was having a great, I mean, his career would have been amazing. But he took a decision. See, what happened is it's not yours and mine decision. And that's correct. I believe that. But we need to cut the crap with this, man. Because you're right, I'm not a doctor. You're right, I'm not a specialist. And guess what? Neither are you. Okay? But you have to look at the perspective of this individual as a human being, not a football player. Forget about football right now. It's not about football. It's about him. Yes, we know he's passionate. Yes, we know he loves football. But let's go to Alabama. Hip injury, even concussion. Some concussion that were not even called concussion. They just took him out of the game. Let's go back to the guy that they fired when he suffered his first concussion, and he agreed to put Tua back on the field. You remember that? Well, let's fire the guy, the team doctor. He made a wrong call. Now, since concussion got so serious, got so more involved, the NFL gets involved. The NFL. Now we got a tent. Okay, we never had a tent. Made a tackle out there. We never had a tent. Go to the sideline, get a hit, come back to the field. See, guys, this is serious. This is more serious. Players are not the same weight anymore. They're bigger, stronger, healthier. And I'm talking about the defensive side, even the offensive side. You got linemen and offensive linemen running a 4-3. I mean, a 4-4. I mean, it's just amazing how how sports has changed in all these years, and the individual getting healthier, stronger. I mean, we got weight rooms. Come on, guys. We don't have to talk this. You guys know this. I don't have to give you a school on this. Here's what I want to say. Where is the common sense? I ask everybody, where is the common sense? About what? Of being a human being. Of you stepping back and forget about football on this one. Injuries happen, guys. Anywhere. At work, in the street, car accident. I mean, I could go on and on. And yes, I know you. Oh, that's a different subject, a different individual stuff. It's not different, guys. It's not different. An injury is an injury, and this one here is more a brain injury. It's to the head. Something serious to look at, something to consider, and think about it. Once again, I'm not an expert. I'm not a specialist. So let's cut the crap here, everybody. Start saying in the media, start putting stuff out there that all we hear is sources says. This guy said, this is what I know. This is what this guy happened. Because Brett Favre played all these games with concussion. Okay? And you still got players in the league right now playing with concussion. What's the worst case scenario to this? You're risking it? Yes, you're risking it. Okay? Why? Because I'm passionate. I love the sports. I cannot take that away from you. Okay? But those scenes on the field from Tua, that is not normal. It's normal when it comes to a concussion because that's what happens. Your nerves and all that. But see, I'm not a specialist. I'm just listening to what they're saying. But the true answer to that is going to be the doctor that Tua is going to see. And we will realize this week what will really happen or what decision he makes or what the doctor thinks. Yes, one guy said this. Well, they see a concussion and they think their career is over. I'm not saying that. Everybody has their own personal opinion. You know, as a fan, you don't want to see the best player in football go down. Ever in NFL history. Out of life, we suffer strokes or heart attacks, high blood pressure, take medication. Let me tell you something, guys. The guy up there is the only one that knows when is our time. And that's my opinion. Not putting anybody here and saying, hey, because I could be here today, but tomorrow, who knows? See, tomorrow is not guaranteed, guys. That's why we live our life day to day. What happened yesterday, happened yesterday. Keep moving. That's my opinion. Once again, I'm not judging anybody. Before anybody says, hey, you're judging. No. Before I judge anybody, I judge myself first. Because to pick up a mic, to go on YouTube, to go to any social media and talk about someone that you have an opinion that you see, who is me to judge? Because that's your personal opinion. Okay? But now I look at it as a family man. Because man, if you have a family, you want that happen to your child? Okay? Let's be honest. You want to be a football player. I'm going to give you a good example. Are you ready? And watch what's going to happen when I say this, because a lot of people are going to come out saying, well, that's different. So your son wants to be a police officer to protect and serve. And then he gets shot and killed. God forbid. It doesn't happen. You know our first comment of this, guys? Watch our first comment. Well, he protected and served. That's what he liked. That's what he loved. That was his passion. Okay? So right now, he just took a job that he knew that whatever happens is to protect and serve, his job on the line. Same thing as military. To protect and serve, his job on the line. See, we already know that, right? Because it's the job that he took. The NFL, let's be honest with you, it's not a job that you took and you're going to die. Now you get what I'm saying? The NFL, I took this job because I'm going to die. No, there's two different things. You see, there's two different cases scenario here. You have to go to war when you're in the military. You're a police officer. God forbid. You're on the road. It's a robbery. You're attending a robbery. Things happen. Guys, I'm just throwing that out there. Okay? Now look at sports. So sports are worth it. So you're going to tell me I'm worth to my life on the field. Something that I love. I'm passionate. But I can get out of it and I can see what's behind me, which is my son, my brother, my sister, my family, my son, my kid, my wife. You know? I'm going to tell you something. Tua signed a big contract. Miami signed a big contract. And I'm going to say this, and people might disappoint it, but I don't say this in the wrong way. You think money is everything in the world? Let me tell you what I say in my podcast every time. If you don't have God in your family, and that's my opinion, God first, family second, job third, you have a problem. You have an issue. Okay? But once again, I'm looking at my way, my perspective. Okay? The way I do it. I don't have to say you got to do it. We're so negative on everything we do. Why are we so negative? Why we can't be positive? Why we can't agree? You know why? Why we disagree in this world? Because you have your opinion, I got mine. You see it different, I see it different. Okay? But I have to respect yours for you to respect mine. Do we have to agree? No. But we make it so big of a deal. This man got hurt on Thursday Night Football once again. Okay? Players in the locker room, players of the other team. Okay? Come on, guys. Let's be honest. Doctors, the safety that from Buffalo, it was in the hospital, it suffered that cardiac in the field. shut down the league for a while, not that long, you know, came up, thank God. I mean, he came up. God answered the prayer. Yeah, he's back on the field. You don't think in the back of his head when he goes to the field, he doesn't think about it? Your doctor say, hey, it's okay to go. Go back on the field. You okay? We examine you. We took care of you. We give you medication. You should be fine. Goes back into the field. That's a decision that Tua is going to have to make, but also the same decision the guy took from the Buffalo Bills to make. But guess what? In the back of his mind, that thought is still there, whether you like it or not. Okay? Because I guarantee you he thought about it. Because what's the first thing they said? Man, I hope, man, the guy's young. He has a great career. I hope he gets well. And you know what? The big thing, the prayers. We pray for the individual. That's what we do. We pray. That's all we do. Pray for the individual. That he can overcome all these concussions and injuries, and because it's pro football. Regardless, you're going to get injured. It's the difference of, like I tell you a few minutes ago, a torn ACL, okay? A shoulder injury, a knee injury, a broken finger. Those things you can recover. And sometimes you can't, because sometimes when you have your ligaments so much damage, you have the doctor say, hey, man, you can't run no more. You're not going to be the same guy. And that's funny because we know what? When we talk about sports and criticize and start saying things, man, that guy should be a good running back. But the moment he had a torn knee and he had the surgery, he's not the same anymore. Wow. Like we are inside the guy's body. Like we are the one who took the surgery. Like you said a few minutes ago, we're not experts. We're not doctors. Only the player knows when he goes on the field. I'm just tired of all these people saying things in social media, okay? Because, listen, I'm not here to criticize anybody. I love everybody. I said that from day one. I love all my fans. I love all the people in the world. I don't take criticism because I don't care about criticism. You're not going to ruin my day. You're not going to make my day bad, okay? Because I got the Lord and Savior up there, okay? He knows my heart. He knows my thinking. He knows my mind. That's on me. People believe in religion, don't believe in religion, are Christian, not Christian, I'm not going there. That's not for me to call, okay? All I know, I have a mighty God, and I'm standing here today. I'm 57 years old, and I'm not admit to say what I have to say because it comes from my heart. Unfortunately, this situation happened to Tua, okay? And here's the problem. It's not the first time. As a fan, because now I'm talking as a fan, not as a podcaster, it's funny how people could quickly criticize the individual, okay? How they criticize players, coaches, just because you want the ranking on your freaking YouTube channel or social media, all that. If you're an expert, if you want to call it like it is, amen, brother. It's up to you. But I'm not arguing with you. To be honest with you, I'm not following your footstep. I call it like it is. You call it like it is. Respect mine. I respect yours. But here we are, it's just talking bad about the individual, and continue talking bad about Tariq Hill, talking bad. And I'm sorry I changed the subject. Talk about the bad wide receiver. Talk about the bad player. Really? You don't know their lives. You don't know what's happening to them. You're not an expert. I'm not an expert. But I'll tell you what I could do for the player. Pray for the player. Wish him well. Don't football players go down the road like a bump? Down the road, up and down, up and down? I feel bad for Antonio Brown. Great receiver. Could be a Hall of Famer. Look at the career he took after that. It's about the person, the individual, the terminology. But we can sit here and talk bad about him, everything, because you know what? That's how good we are in social media. Because we want to add everything negative. Well, I got bad news. My podcast is a positive podcast. Okay? And if you think negative from me saying that Tua should retire, that is negative. This is something that I see as a human being. See, maybe you don't watch it as a human being. You're watching it as a football player, as a fan. No, I'm watching it as a human being. Now, who I am to say he could retire, that's not my decision. You're right. I'm not a doctor. You're also right. But guess what? I'm a human being. And I don't want that to happen to my son or anybody's sons on the field. That is not normal, guys. It's not normal. Concussion in the head, it's not normal, guys. Tackle football. So, like I say now, you signed up for what you know it's coming. See, that's the military. That's a police officer. But in the NFL, all you know is tackle football. You're going to get hit. Your knee blown. Your ankle out. Your torn ACL. Your Achilles. But your head, your brain, so much for the protection of the NFL concussion protocol. I think they're going to have to dig deeper into this. They say they have a great system in play. Okay. They say they had a helmet that you could wear. Is it a game time decision to wear it? For the player to wear it? Do the helmet's going to save the player's head? Or concussion? I mean, I'm just asking that question. I'm not an expert. I'm just asking that question, guys. Okay, so you're building something better to have less player injured in the field. You're coming up with stuff that can actually help. What you came out with? A blue tent? Then now you can take him to the blue tent and see if he has a concussion, if he's okay to return to the field. There's always been a doctor in every football team. Okay? But now you added equipment that you could use. Is it 100% to prevent concussion, or is it not 100% to? You see what I'm saying? There's questions to ask. Have we asked those questions? You tell me. Anyhow, I'm going to drop that subject. I hope you guys watch this video. Some of you guys might get upset. I'm sorry if you do. I don't mean to say anything wrong on anybody. I'm trying to see it my perspective, my way. Everybody's different. I love everybody. I love all these channels. Like I say, I see ESPN. I see YouTubers. I see content creators that we talk about. I see Dolphin networks talking about it. Sometimes we want to say we have all the insights. We don't. Once again, if I go for everything that I'm reading, if I go for everything that I look at reality, and I leave it to that. I look at reality. So let me say by saying this, I'm gonna go to baseball in a few minutes because there's some races going on right now that some teams are walking away. The Orioles are struggling. The Orioles cannot not even hit a fly ball. Let me tell you that. That's how bad it is for the Orioles. But I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you something, guys. You have to put yourself in that man position. I tell people, leave me comments. Nobody leaves me comments. You know why? Because maybe you're afraid I'm going to say, because I'm not here to battle with you. Leave your comments. You have an opinion. I would like to listen to your opinion. What do you think? But anyhow, let me go to the baseball here for a second. Because I need the Orioles already like 3 games out of first place. The Yankees are 6-4 in the last 10 games. The Orioles are 4-6. I'm gonna tell you, their bats are just terrible, guys. Just terrible. Then you got Cleveland. The last 10 games they're 5-5, but they lead the division they're only 3 games. They're also struggling. Kansas City is only 3 games behind them. And then the Twins are 5.5. We got a month of baseball left. So then you got Houston and Seattle. Seattle's still 4.5 out of first place. But you got Houston in first place at 4.5. Then you got the Phillies. And buddy, I cannot believe that the Atlanta Braves fell down to third place. Only 1 game behind, but the Mets are 7 games, and they're in the wild card, by the way. Then you got Milwaukee, that I think took over 85 and 62. The Cubs are 10 games out, St. Louis 11, Cincinnati 14, and Pittsburgh 15. Then you got the Dodgers. That the only 2 games are fighting to the Dodgers right now. It's Arizona and the Padres. Dodgers are 87 and 60. They have a 4.5 game lead, and Arizona is 5 back. Let me get you the wild card for a second. The Orioles lead the wild card by 4.5, followed by Kansas City at 2.5. And then you got Minnesota, Detroit, Seattle, even the Red Sox and Tampa Bay still in it, believe it or not. In the National League, you got Padres, Arizona, the Mets, and the Braves 1 game out. The rest, you can say the Cubs could still with 6 games, but the rest out of the division. So that's something right now, guys, that I'm worried about the Orioles. They're hitting, went south. They're pitching, a lot of injuries. If they make it far as the wild card, which they probably do, they can still win the division. They still got a couple of games with the Yankees before the season is over. It's going to be tough for them. So now, don't forget, today is also college football. I don't do my picks in college football. I do my standings. I got to do my new standings coming up after the game today. Hopefully, I could do my game standing or my ranking. Sorry if you want to say that. Let me give you some college football top 25. I think they got games today. So I know we had a couple of games last night in college football. All right, let me see here. Okay, we have Memphis at Florida State, North Texas at Texas Tech, LSU and South Carolina. That'd be a good game. Central Michigan at Illinois, North Greenville at Citadel, Arkansas State, Arkansas State against Michigan today. Oklahoma State versus Tulsa, Cincinnati at Miami of Ohio, Central Connecticut at St. Francis, Alabama at Wisconsin. That's going to be a good one. Louisiana Tech at North Carolina State, Mercyhurst versus Robin Morris, Lehigh versus LIU, Merritt versus Lafayette, Boston College at Missouri. That's going to be a good one too. Stony Brooks at Fordham. Love this game. This school program name. Delaware, North Carolina, A&T. UMass and Buffalo. Western Illinois, Illinois State. Holy Cross at Bryant. Stetson at Foreman. There is a lot of game, guys. Georgetown versus Sacred Heart. Stetson, okay, I just told you Georgetown. West Virginia at Pittsburgh. That's a good. Ball State, University of Miami today at 3:30. Nevada and Minnesota. Georgia Tech will play VMI. Texas A&M will play Florida. That's a good game. Notre Dame and Purdue. That's another good game. Oregon State. That's another good game. Washington State versus Washington. Another good game. Tulane and Oklahoma. South Dakota and Portland State. Appalachian State versus East Carolina. West Georgia versus East Kentucky. I mean, it's a full schedule of actually of games today. I'm looking here the top 25. See if they, right here the college football power rankings for week 3. Number 25 Michigan State is 2-0. Number 24 Pittsburgh is 2-0. California 23rd, they're 2-0. 22 is Mississippi, 2-0. 21st Oklahoma, 2-0. Number 20 UNLV, 2-0. Number 19 is Ohio State, 2-0. These are just power rankings. Number 18 Alabama, 2-0. 17 South Carolina, 2-0. Nebraska is 16 at 2-0. Boston College is 15 at 2-0. Vanderbilt, number 14 at 2-0. Number 13 is Illinois, 2-0. Number 12 is Arizona State, 2-0. Number 11, North Carolina, 2-0. Number 10, Florida is 2-0. Number 9, it's Penn State, 2-0. Tennessee is 2-0. And number 8, Oklahoma State, 7 at 2-0. Number 6 is Syracuse, 2-0. Number 5 is Iowa State, 2-0. Then you have USC, 2-0. Number 4, Georgia went to number 3 at 2-0. Number 2, Northern Illinois at 2-0. And number 1 is Texas at 2-0. These are actual actually NCAA college football power rankings. Wow. You see, and that's actually their opinion. If I do it myself, I make my own opinion on it. So, but anyhow, thank you so much. Enjoy this Saturday football, college football. There's baseball also today. Hopefully, you guys enjoy this weekend. Sorry about Friday. Once again, man, subscribe to the channel. Thumbs up. Once again, guys, stay positive. Live today like it's for today, not what happened yesterday, what's going to happen tomorrow. We can't determine that. Enjoy your family, hug your family. The most important thing, love one another, encourage one another. And once again, thank you for subscribing with Sports Night with Jorge. You guys have a blessed one. Thank you.